Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Hi, my name is Emily. So excited to be on here hosting this super fun call for you guys. We still have just another minute or so before we get started. So send out those last minute messages, reminders to those of your friends who are also excited to be on here and learn a little bit more about ketones. Also, I love to see your smiling, beautiful faces. So unless you're putting the kids to bed or in the bathroom or something, as long as you're decent, throw your cameras on so I can see your beautiful faces. And you know what I love? I love the wave. So as you're coming on here, let's do a big wave real fast. Yeah. Yes. Hello. Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much. So first of all, I would love to hear where everyone's tuning in from. So at the bottom there's a little chat button. Type in there where you're tuning in from. If this is your first call with us, let us know that you're new so I can give you a special welcome. And if you're not new, if you've been here for a week, a month, a couple years, let us know how long you've been drinking ketones because I love to see that it works. I am also going to be shaking up some caffeine-free True Passion and Orange Mitoplex. Put in the chat what you're drinking for ketones today. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Ooh, Tina started today. That's amazing. Welcome. Okay, awesome. So it is 8:30 on the nose over here on the East Coast, and I want to be respectful of your time and keep this high and tight tonight. So what you can expect to hear tonight is a little about what this technology is, pure therapeutic ketones, what they are, how it works, hopefully get some of your questions answered. And by the end of this, you'll be inspired to join us, whether that be with a trial pack or sharing this conversation as a promoter. Before we get to that, I would like to share a little bit about myself. My name is Emily Chase. I am from Chile, New Hampshire. I am a mom. My daughter's name is Olivia. She just turned 1. You might hear her playing around here. And I have been drinking and sharing ketones for 9 months now. Prior to drinking ketones, I worked an 8 to 5 office job in healthcare. I had been a medical assistant and most recently working as the programs coordinator in addiction recovery. And before I started drinking ketones, it was time for me to go back to work after maternity leave. And I knew that my job had no flexibility and I wasn't looking for the added expense to hire someone else for to raise my child while I went to work and traded my time for a paycheck. I was also a super skeptic. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like I had tried every drink, shake, powder there was, and I wasn't about to spend any more money on things that didn't work. So I got started with a simple 5-day trial. I watched someone's journey for over a year. That person's actually on this call and she's now one of my best friends, but I will get to that later. So I got in at like the smallest I could because I didn't want to spend any money. And I had what we would call a first packet experience. I drank a caffeinated ketone, my first one around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the baby went to bed. And I may or may not have been trying to pull out the vacuum cleaner. I don't know. So not everyone has a first packet experience, but a little disclaimer, side effects may or may not include cleaner homes. I don't know. So immediately I knew that this was something that I was excited to share. So I could get other people, like other skeptical people, feeling as amazing as I did. And one last thing about that office job, I don't know what you guys do for work, but in the morning I would physically put on professional pants. And I also felt like figuratively I had to put on professional pants. If you know me in real life, I'm not like wild and crazy by any means. I know that there's a time and a place for everything, unless we're talking about the playlist. but I felt like there was things I had to change or hide about myself. And it is so far from the case here. You know, I show up as I am. I am so loved and so supported and so encouraged. And working alongside people who are also on the pursuit to be a better version of themselves. So again, I am so grateful to be on here. Thank you for allowing me the space to share my story. And I'm so excited to turn this over to the Keto Dad himself, Nick Martinez, to share a little bit about how these things work.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily, so much for opening us up and sharing your story. And it's been fun to watch your journey over the last little bit here. And I just saw some of your before and after pictures on Facebook, and I was blown away. So really cool results. So my name is Nick Martinez. For those of you that don't know me, I live out in Minnesota. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for the last 6.5 years. I can't believe it's been that long. My background is flying airplanes. I was a full-time airline pilot when I was introduced by this white magical powder by a flight attendant, believe it or not. And I didn't know what ketones were. I was not the Keto Dad on Facebook. I was eating a low-fat, high-carb diet. I was eating a bunch of junk. We had wine and pizza Fridays, my wife and I. And in walks ketones, right? I was tired all the time. I did short overnights, didn't get a lot of sleep. I would come home. My 8-year-old, who her name is Callie, I have a 6-year-old also. My 8-year-old was 2, and I would watch her during daddy daycare because I worked nights. My wife worked during the day, so our kid was always watched by one of us, which was fun, unless you're working the night shift at the airline world and you don't have any sleep. So I started to drink this one day and went from being tired, watching her from my napping position on the floor to coming home and having energy, to coming home and chasing her around the house, coming home and having a smile on my face instead of being, cranky. And the thing that shifted in my life was the fact that I started to add ketones. So tonight, our goal is to help you have an understanding of what this is, hopefully inspire you in some way, whether it's through the science and the details around ketones or through a couple other stories that you're going to hear, just like Emily's here tonight. But I want to explain kind of what this is, because I know there's a lot of misinformation around ketones out there. There's a lot of maybe mismarketing, and I want you to know exactly what this is and what it isn't. So when I started drinking this, I was not doing a ketogenic diet. So that's one question I get. Do I have to do keto to drink this? The answer is no. This is diet independent. It will work whether you're doing a ketogenic diet or you're eating a standard American diet or a low carb diet or a vegan diet or paleo, whatever the heck you do, that's awesome. Keep doing you, just drink ketones. So why is that? Why is it like that? Well, when you drink ketones, you're putting your body into a state of ketosis, which is a fancy way of saying you're giving your body the optimal fuel source to power your brain. Meaning you can actually drink ketones and at the same time, you're fueling your brain with that fuel. You're fueling your muscles with that fuel and your heart with that fuel. And for those of you that don't know, your body actually runs on 2 fuel sources. We're like a hybrid car. We run on gas, we run on electric. Gas is carbs and sugar. That's what 99.9% of the population of the world is running on. Electric is ketones. And prior to Keto Nat, you had to either do the diet 100%, which is great if you can stick with it. But I will tell you, as the Keto Dad, I would say probably 5 to 10% of those that actually do keto are actually in a state of ketosis. It can still work for them, but they're not actually truly burning ketones in their brain because they're not perfect enough on the diet. We don't have to be perfect though, because we have ketones. So the second way to get into ketosis is through fasting. You don't eat for 36, 48 hours. Your body will go into a state of ketosis where it's metabolizing body fat for fuel. It's breaking it into smaller molecules, one of which happens to be what we drink, beta hydroxybutyrate, and that's what you're fueling your brain with. So the reason that we've survived for millions of years is because God was really smart when he created us and he allowed us to store fat so that we could burn it when we had famine. So the problem with us today is we never have famine. We always have feast. So we never get to burn our fat. So unless you want to just start doing fasts consistently to get yourself into ketosis, or you're going to do the ketogenic diet 100%. And I'll talk to those of you that already do the ketogenic diet and you're perfect at it in a second here. We can now drink ketones. So when you put this in ice and water, you shake it up and you drink it. You heard me talk about energy. You heard Emily talk about being able to get stuff done, about body transformation, feeling better, right? And why is that? It's because ketones are an optimal fuel source. You're basically taking the best possible fuel, you're putting it into your body, and that's what's powering your brain. A lot of times our brain and our body is not getting the energy that it needs. It's not being able to process the glucose efficiently. Ketones allow you to do that almost instantly. So the stories that you're going to hear tonight are occurring because this is a true fuel source. Now, what sets this apart or what makes this different from other things out there? Other ketone supplements maybe you saw on Amazon or some GNC or something like that. These are bioidentical, which is a fancy term of saying they're the same that your body would produce if you didn't eat for 3 days. Okay, your body's going to make ketones, you're going to use them. Well, if you drink ketones and they're not the same, which is every other ketone supplement out there, there's a patent on the bioidentical ketones that are in Ketonat. And the natural fermentation process is also patented. There are, I think, 8 or 9 patents on this. You can go read them and look them up if you desire. I wouldn't do that. It'd take a lot of time. But right here, when you drink this, your body recognizes it as the same stuff that it would basically break down fat into, and you're able to use it instantly for energy. So some people will drink this and they'll experience more energy. Some people will drink this and they'll just be less hungry. Some people will drink this and they'll have a bigger smile on their face. Why? Because their brain has fuel. And when your brain is fueled, you're not tired, you're not cranky, you feel better. Some people will drink it and they'll notice they sleep better. Some people will drink it and in 3 or 4 weeks, like their clothes are fitting, their clothes get bigger and they have to go buy new clothes. Everybody's going to be a little bit different just based upon their body. We all come to this world and we have a different thumbprint, right? As a result, we have a very different metabolic state. And I like to say ketones go where they're needed, not necessarily where you want them. So as you start to drink this, you're going to notice different things. For some, it's an out-of-body experience on the first serving. If you had a first serving experience in the chat, type that was me, or tell us how long it took for you to notice. I'm curious. That was Emily. That's cool. I had lots of friends that had that experience. I did not have a first sip experience. It took me about 10 days to start to notice a change. So maybe you're doing a 5 or 10 serving trial pack right now and you're like, I haven't noticed anything. It's okay. You're like me. It took me a little bit longer for my body to just start to utilize it and for me to feel it. Whether you feel it or not isn't that important. What's important is that you're getting your ketones to your brain. So feeling is great. That's the part that we all like to talk about and like to experience and share. But the reality is there's so many studies that have been done that prove and show that having ketones present is just beneficial for your health long term. So that's a little bit of the basics of how this works and why. If you are a researcher, if you're somebody that loves science and data, go look up the book, The Ketogenic Bible. By Dr. Jacob Wilson and Dr. Ryan Lowry. They are the world's leading experts on the ketogenic lifestyle and on ketosis. And it's the only truly science-driven, peer-reviewed book that talks about keto as well as ketones. And all the studies they're doing the ketogenic diet plus ketones. They're doing standard American diet against keto. They're doing all the work to basically prove that this actually is doing what it says it does. So for those of you right now that are strict keto, and you're like, well, why would I do that? My body already makes ketones. Well, the answer to that is actually all of the studies have shown that if you add ketones to a ketogenic diet, it actually elevates the levels further of your ketones. And at the same time, the results, all the markers that they look at during their research are up, they're increased. So keto diet's awesome. Keto diet plus ketones equals double awesome. So I'm excited for you guys to hear a couple more of the stories. I just wanted you to hear some of that information prior, because I believe if you truly understand how the body works and the fact that ketones are beneficial and good for you, you're not going to want to go a day without this. So Emily, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. Let's show some love for Nick in the chat. I love how you covered all the bases. You answered those questions. And my favorite thing that you said was you don't need to worry about feeling it at first. It's just staying consistent and knowing that it's working. And I definitely feel that. So thank you so much. Like Nick said, I am so excited to turn it over first to Paul from California. He's going to share with us a little bit about how ketones have been working for him.
Hey, thanks, Emily. Good evening, everybody. And my name is Paul Rome. I'm from Southern California, originally from Alabama, and sometimes I live in Alabama. Just depends on what's going on. I was a former Marine, and for the last 22 years after I got out of active duty, I've been working in the for the military in the information technology area, either as a contractor or a federal employee. So what does that do? That makes me travel a lot for work. So it was very hard for me to sometimes diet right and things like that. So before ketones, of course I was overweight. I was always tired, had zero energy. Basically, I could wake up and take a nap. That's how bad it was. Sometimes very close, sometimes to falling asleep, driving home at the wheel. This is very bad. So just had zero focus at work. Just felt like crap. For many, many years, I've felt like that. Sleep was crap, just tossing and turning all night, not getting the proper rest that I needed. So like I said, I travel a lot for work, sometimes up to 90%, depending on what customer I supported and where I had to go. So, I'd always try to eat better when I was traveling. But of course, guys would come up, or, gals, and be like, hey, let's go to the bar and, let's go eat here at this restaurant, which sometimes they were my favorite. I'd be like, okay, let's do that. Then everything just kind of went out the window. So, I've always struggled to find something that worked and just tried, like I said, different things. And, and then come on ketones, about 6 months ago. So I started taking them regularly, and now it's very easy for me to just grab, the ketones, shaker cup. I always have water with me. So whether or not I'm fishing, golfing, at work, on travel, wherever I'm at, they're very easy to do that. Walking down the mall, whatever, I'll just open up a packet and put it in there while I'm walking. It's very easy. So it's helped to keep me satiated between meals, which is great. But my energy focus, I'm able to focus at work and really well now. Sleep, everything is just improved dramatically, night and day. So, and currently, this is kind of probably the biggest story. On top of them all is I'm down 64 pounds in less than 6 months. So yeah. And put on about 10 pounds of muscle with, having the energy to go work out, etc. So I'm hooked, I'm in. So, I think if anybody can do it, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I'm excited to see kind of what the future holds, as I continue on my journey, but I'm also excited just about the technology and how the technology advances and where we kind of go with, this type of industry. So but my biggest thing is I've always had kind of a passion to help people, but I just was never in a place or felt like I could really help people or anything, or I had any story to share. So I just really try to look out for now, like the people who struggle every day. You see them all over Facebook, social media. They just struggle. They have really nowhere to turn. So I'm hoping that I can get my message out and help other people to turn their life around, whether it's lose energy or, gain energy or sleep better. So that's kind of my story and where I'm at right now.
That's amazing, Paul. I think that's the first time I've heard you share your story. So let's show him some love in the chat. That is absolutely incredible. And I'm excited for you too, man, to share your story and, having other people have transformative experiences as well. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda from Georgia so she can share with us a little bit about her story. Are you there, Amanda? I see.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay, great. Yes, I'm Amanda from Georgia. I have 3 small children under the age of 6. So I am busy. Before drinking ketones, I was very exhausted, tired. I'm not a morning person. My 2 oldest started kindergarten, preschool this past fall, and I dreaded getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would get up at 9 o'clock in the morning normally. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So finally started, getting started. And I started drinking ketones in January. And now I get out of the bed, I get ready, get going. It's giving me so much energy. My mood is so much better. Mental clarity is like, there's no more brain fog. I don't have like, not like confused and like thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? What else? I mean, there's just so many benefits from it. The energy was the biggest thing. I did lose about like 10 to 15 pounds. So that was great. But overall, I just felt great. But since drinking them, it's just been a big transformation. And when I started realizing, I was like, okay, I need to order more. Can't go without these. And so that's what I did. Mostly I'm excited about the future, like just having the energy for kids, because I'm more of an older mom for kids that age. And so it's like, to keep up with them, I need ketones. So I feel like I am now taking them outside to play and not like keeping them inside, during the pretty days. This summer is going to be great. We're going to go to the pool. We're going to go do more fun things. So, it's going to be exciting to just get out and adventure and do things and have the energy and not be like, oh, I just need a nap, because that's what I felt like I needed to do every day was nap. And now I don't feel like that. So, but thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That's absolutely incredible. I honestly cannot fathom having more than one child. So props to you just on that alone.
Yes, they're 6, 5, and 2. So they're a handful.
It's a good thing we have ketones, right?
Yes, it has helped.
All right, amazing. And lastly, I have another fellow New Hampshireite. I am going to turn it over to my friend Christine.
Thank you, Emily, my new friend. Hello, I am Christine from Chile, New Hampshire, same as Emily. And I have been drinking and sharing ketones since May of 2020. I was gifted a 10-pack trial from my amazing son, Jesse, who knew that I needed something even when I didn't. Before drinking ketones, I lived life on the couch, basically. I went through the motions of the day, but never really living, I would say. I'd get up, I would go to work, I would come home from work, I would sometimes cook dinner, I would sometimes have cereal, and then I'd sit in front of the TV, watch TV, and then go to bed. And that was basically my week. Sometimes I would hike on the weekends, but even then, I love hiking. Now, I've only been hiking for about 5 years now, but I love it so much. And I used to dread like planning a hike or someone planning a hike and going, like, I used to dread it because I knew how strenuous it would be. I knew how tired I would be. I knew how out of breath I would be. And dreading something you love, it just, I don't know, it was sad. So I was tired and out of shape, and then it came ketones. So like I said, I started drinking them in May of 2020. And since then, I have released 35 pounds, but even more crazy is 27 inches, which I think is insane. And I am so psyched about that. But yes, my mood is so much better. I am joyful. I think I am so annoying to my coworkers because I go in the morning and I'm all smiles and I'm full of energy, and they're like, ugh. We're at work. So I think I'm totally annoying to them, but that's okay. And also my energy is through the roof. I don't have time to sit on the couch anymore. I am up I'm up about maybe 4:15 in the morning. I drink my ketones, I work out, I go to work all day. I come home, I'll take the dog for a walk. If we have time, we'll go for a quick hike. I recently joined a gym. So in addition to working out in the morning, I'll go to the gym 2 nights a week to lift weights. And you guys, it's amazing. I am like, it's just, oh my gosh, it's so crazy, this energy. And I did have, like Nick was talking about, I did have a first day experience. And I didn't know how to explain it then. Like the only thing that I could think was it was like an energized calm, which now is like the mental clarity, which is another huge benefit for me. So that is my story. And I want to tell you that I am 52. I will be 53 in May, and I feel like I am in the best shape of my life. And, to go that long without really feeling like you're living, and to experience life in the last 2 years has been amazing. And I have Jesse to thank for it. I love you so much. And what I am most excited about is for the people that are going to start tomorrow or next week or next month, and just to see where it brings not just me, but the people that are about to start and have their own experience. So thanks for letting me share.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And you know what? I saw a lot of head nods while you were talking. So I know that a lot of people can relate. So I am so fired up hearing all of those stories. Thank you guys so much. I'd like to transition a little bit and quickly talk about some of the options we have to get started. I don't know if you can see it, but I have one of our 10-day Drink Ketones challenge kits. This is a great option for new customers. It comes with 20 servings in a variety of different flavors, 10 caffeinated and caffeine free. And we also have some good, better, best bundles as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Nick. So, first, I'm sorry. We have other options as well. If you're interested in sharing this conversation, we actually have something really cool going on right now called the Dollar Keto Club. Where you can share this conversation, whether you're just coming in looking for grocery money, or you're someone like me who's working on, building a full-time income and something to leave their children. Like I said, you are welcomed wherever you are at. So with that, I would like to turn it over to Nick to talk about some options.
Awesome. Powerful stories. I always love hearing those. And I know Paul and Amanda are new to our community from a promoter standpoint, and it's fun just to hear you guys share. So I want to talk a little bit before we get into the different options to get started. Emily mentioned the challenge kit, which is a great way. If you're not drinking ketones yet, you just got to drink them. Like, end of story. Whether you're grabbing a trial pack from whoever invited you here, or better yet, go to their website, get that challenge kit that she just mentioned. We have some bundles. We have good, better, best bundles. The good bundle is actually that challenge kit with Mitoplex, which is our electrolyte. I'll talk about the better and the best bundle here in a minute. But just start. That's all there is to it. And what you're going to probably have happen to you is you're going to have people raising their hands saying, what are you drinking? Why do you have all this energy? What's going on? Why is that smile on your face? And if that's the case, guess what? As a customer, you can refer 2 friends and you can start getting free ketones. So anybody that's like, well, I just don't know. I'm like, well, do you have 2 friends that might want to drink this? Does your mom, your dad, your sister, whoever? Like, the first people that I shared this with, to be perfectly honest, I called my mom, I called my dad, and I called my sister. All 3 of them drink it today. All 3 of them are in the best shape of their lives. My parents are 72 and 69. And my sister is older than me with kids that are my kids' age. And she is a super mom now, like living her best life. So it's really cool to see that. But it happened naturally. Why? Because I had something that made me feel good, and I wanted people that I loved and care about the most to feel well as well. So that's why sharing it is just natural. And we make it easy for you as a customer to get your product for free. Before we go into that, though, one of the questions I get a lot of is, hey, I want to have a transformation, right? I'm looking for fat loss. I want to lose weight. And we're not a weight loss product. However, what you're going to find is that by getting healthy, your body will naturally shrink. We don't call it weight loss because we want you to maintain this stuff, muscle, because that leads to good health. What we want you to do is release fat. You heard Paul say he lost 60 pounds, but gained 10 pounds of muscle. That's a net loss of like 70 pounds of fat, which is a good thing. That's what we want, but it's not weight loss. So remember that. Drop in the chat. If you've lost a few pounds of fat, a body fat, type how much you have lost. I'm just curious. I'm always blown away by some of these numbers. I see 44, 35, 38. We sound like we're at an auction here. 55 pounds. Holy moly. 94. I always forget that, Tracy. That's insane. 65, 90. I mean, okay, we're not a diet. We're not a weight loss company. However, when people get healthy, what happens? Your bodies go back to the way they should be, right? You stop holding on to all that stuff. You stop carrying it around, and you can start doing happy dances like I see Tracy doing here. And because she's 94 pounds lighter than she was a while ago. So if that's something that you want, the question I get is, well, how do you do that? Well, we have this thing called the Core 4 Challenge that we launched at the beginning of the year. And I want to just run through it real quick. You can actually get whoever invited you here's website and take a deep dive, commit to it. All that you have to do to be part of it or to participate is have ketones. So go grab that box of ketones or one of those bundles and you're set to go. And then tell your friend, hey, I'm going to do the Core 4 Challenge with you. Guess what? They'll probably do it right alongside you, because Core 4 is a way of living. It's a way, it's a mindset even, and it's something that you can do. So let me just share my screen real quick and just show you this, because I think it's incredible. So Core 4 is really 4 steps a day, 4 days a week for 4 weeks. It's simple. And what you'll find is you're creating habits. But notice it's not 7 days a week or 7 steps. It's 4 days a week and 4 steps. So that means you can do this, right? It means that you can absolutely do this. So step number 1 is simple. This is the step that we do every day, and it's just fuel. Just drink your ketones. Like that's going to create the foundation. It creates the energy. It creates the satiety. It creates this feeling of well-being, this belief that you can do it, which is what's usually missing from anything that you've done in the past. Okay. Step number 2 is feed your body with a healthy low carb diet. Just focus 4 days. You don't have to be perfect 7 days. I'm not asking you to skip your kid's birthday. I'm not asking you not to go out and have any fun, but I'm asking you for 4 days where you're just going to own it, right? Maybe you do a little bit of intermittent fasting, you skip breakfast, you eat low carb lunch, low carb dinner. And if you need help with that, guess what? Prove It just launched food that is fresh delivered to your doorstep in the United States. So if you're in the US and you have access to this, this is an amazing program, and you can get 8 meals in a box. So you literally can have lunch and dinner for those 4 days prepared for you, perfectly done. So if that's something that's would help you, this has been helping me and my family, even though we cook a lot, even though we cook live on Facebook on a daily basis. It's been helping just reduce the stress around food when the kids have swimming, or Callie has soccer, or any of those things that keep us from being able to eat appropriately. The third one is move. 4 days a week, just move your body. I heard a commercial today that just drove me crazy, and it was, hey, sign up for our weight loss program. You don't have to change what you eat. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do anything. You're like, well, what are they going to do? Is it like, how are they going to even create health? I'm not asking you to go join a gym, although you can. I'm not asking you to do anything nuts. I'm just saying move your body more than you used to 4 days a week, right? Maybe that means get up and walk, get up and maybe do some push-ups, but just get your heart pumping, get your blood pumping, and engage your muscles. Not 7 days a week, 4. You can do this. Last one is share. And this part is cool, because sometimes people are like, well, why would I share? I don't want to share. I don't want to tell people what I'm doing. Well, there's a couple of reasons here. One reason is it creates accountability. By you telling people what you're doing, guess what? You're going to subconsciously hold yourself accountable. By you saying, oh my gosh, I just did my movement today. That's a check mark in your brain saying, oh, I'm doing this. I better stay accountable. Hey, this was one of my core 4 days for food, and I just ate this. Whether you're telling a neighbor, telling a friend, posting about it on your story on Facebook, Instagram, or doing a TikTok on, or whatever the heck it is for you, it doesn't matter. We just want you to share 4 times a week. Why? Because it's going to create accountability. And the other piece of that is you're going to inspire others. You heard Paul say that he's always wanted to be able to help others, right? He's always wanted to be able to have something that he can actually talk about and share that would better the life of somebody else. By you sharing your journey, not your success, your journey, you're going to inspire others to come along with you. And that inspiration, you will find, creates a ripple that you don't even know the ends of. Because just by you maybe posting something and they start doing this and doing their own Core 4 challenge, next thing you know, it impacts the life of their son that might actually save his life, because he was down a path that was taking him into all of these medications and all of this challenges. And because you shared one day, it impacted that person. Right. And you don't know how far that can go. That's one of the cool, like, intrinsic things of this. So that's the Core 4 challenge. I spent a little bit more time on that than I had planned, but I'm telling you, it's the most powerful concept, because when you start to understand that you can do this, when you start to believe that, okay, it's actually, there is a solution out there, guess what? You start to believe it. When you start to believe it, you start to do it on a daily basis. And before you know it, you look back 6 months like Paul, and you're like, hey, I've just lost 60 pounds of body fat, and I'm down I've gained 10 pounds of muscle. Like, that is in your future. I'm more excited right now than I've ever been in our community of drinking ketones, really because of the concept of the Core 4 challenge. So the other option for you tonight is to join us. You heard Emily mention the Dollar Keto Club, and it's something that has recently been expanded. It's something that was launched originally back in the pandemic, and it's been an incredible thing. In fact, there were a lot of people that joined us during that initial Dollar Keto Club, and then it kind of went away after the first year. And there was so much just excitement around it that it's been brought back. And I want to take you through what that is really briefly, really quickly. You can get more information from whoever invited you here. In fact, we've got some other recorded calls and different things that you can take a look at if you really want more details. But what about this? What if this is so powerful that you can be rewarded for sharing it? Emily mentioned she was going back to work after maternity leave and wanted another option. Well, this became that option for her. What if you're somebody that's like, hey, I'd love to get my ketones for free. I'd love to earn some grocery money. What if you're somebody that's thinking, I'd love for this to supplement my income over the next few years into retirement? What if you're like me that was just looking for some extra money to pay my mortgage so I could travel more with my family, realized about a year and a half in that, holy smokes, there's a lot to this. There's all of those possibilities here. And right now, when you grab one of our options that I'm going to share in a second here, it's $1 to become a promoter. So it's a really simple decision because you're going to grab ketones regardless. I know that. You're going to get one of our bundle packs. And when you do, you can add the promoter membership for $1 and basically join our community. And what does it mean? It means you get to plug into this group of positive people. All of these stories that you've been reading in the chat, successes, if you surround yourself by people like that and you start to hear what they're doing and hear their stories, you're inspired, you're connected, right? You also get to plug into a personal development plan. And the neat thing with Prove It is we have virtual events probably every month or every 2 months. We have live events handful of times a year. We have masterminds. We have different things that you can go to and participate in. If you like to have fun, this is an amazing, fun group of people. And then financially, you get to plug into something that can alter your finances. I mean, for a lot of families, $500 a month is the difference between getting out of debt, having a savings and moving forward versus staying in debt and kind of going backwards, right? So it's the power of that small money, which is huge for many. And it's simple to earn here. So let me share the different options to get started. Let me hit share screen again. The neat thing with this is when you do join us as a promoter with one of these options, it's only $1. So it's not like it's a super big commitment. Here we go. So join us as a promoter. There's 4 options. I'll just run through them really fast here. Number 1, grab one of our bundles. Now you can do this as a customer. If you're just saying, you know what, I just want to drink it. Awesome. Grab the good bundle, which we just mentioned was 1 challenge kit and a box of Mitoplex. You can grab the better bundle, which is 2 boxes and a box of Mitoplex. These are upgraded electrolytes. They're amazing. You're going to want to drink them on a daily basis. The best bundle has the same, and then they add in our protein, which is a ketone infused protein. It's amazing. And then a 24-hour fasting kit, which will really help to kickstart ketosis and help with your health journey. So those are great options, customer or promoter. If you're going to buy it as a customer, you just go to your friend's website. You'll grab that. When you're, if you want to become a promoter, you're just going to pay $1, right? Simple. Other 2 options real quick here are our mini brand builder pack and our max. Our mini comes with 5 boxes, 100 servings. The max comes with 10 boxes, 200 servings. We're going to teach you how to give people trial packs, basically how to offer people the ability to sample our product before they commit to it, right? They're going to buy 5 from you or 10 from you. And we teach you how to cover the cost of these. This is $497. It's 23% off. This one's $910. It's 30% off of our retail value. So you're getting a great price. With this max pack, you're also getting some of our best kind of just incentives. Prove It knows you're investing in your business, investing in yourself. So they're going to basically pay you a little bit more money for doing the same thing. For the first year, you're going to get paid at the rank 5, which there's 10 ranks in our rewards plan. For the first 30 days, you're going to get double commissions on any promoters that you enroll. That's what this Go Fast thing means. And some other kind of cool incentives. So those are the options in a nutshell. You just have to decide which one's right for you. There's no right or wrong. The only thing is just getting started, right? My goal for this call tonight was to give you enough information so you can say, okay, I get it. I need to get started, right? So my encouragement to you is get back to the person that invited you here and tell them, hey, I want to start with just that good bundle, or hey, I want to start with that $1 Keto Club, and I'm thinking the best bundle is the right option for me. Or hey, I was inspired by all the stories. I think this is something I really want to get behind. I'd love to get started with the $1 Keto Club and that Max Brand Builder Pack. Tell them which one you want to start with. They'll walk you through it. They'll help you. You're going to be part of this community where we have support, we have training, we have systems for you to plug into. It's not an overnight thing. It's not something that you're just going to sign in and then tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire. That's not the outcome here. However, it is let's share this, let's impact lives, and let's be rewarded for the impact that we create, rewarded for the ripple that we create. So Emily, I'll turn it back over for you. Thank you so much for hosting tonight. Thanks for everybody that's shared, and thank you all for being on. And I hope you all have a wonderful night.
Yes, thank you so much. That was absolutely incredible. No way could I say it any better myself. So thank you so much for that. You explained it so simply. So again, just to reiterate, get back with the person who invited you to this call and let them know what option you are interested in getting started with. I hope you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you next time.